Hello, hello, lovelies, beautiful souls. Welcome in. This is Lunar Goddess Tarot, formerly Divine Truth Tarot. Thank you so much for tuning in and being here today and hanging out. And for those of you catching this live, feel free to chime in to the live discussion. Please like, share, subscribe to the channel. This all helps people who need to find my work and need to find my videos on their journey. It helps them. It actually helps with the algorithm on YouTube so that they are able to see my videos. So it makes my videos more visible, it makes my channel more visible, and it helps me grow my mission and continue to serve you guys as a light worker and as a divine feminine. So for those of you new to the channel, welcome in. And for those of you who have been on my channel for a while or for any amount of time, welcome back. We are going to be doing a divine feminine guidance reading. I just completed and am trying desperately to upload the divine masculine reading. So I may have to take a moment here just to make sure that that video is processing, because it's taking about a half an hour to process. So it's holding things up. But if you've tuned into that video, this will make a lot of sense. And if you haven't tuned into that video, go ahead, give it a view. It will be the video right before this video on the channel. For those of you new also, I tend to focus on divine counterparts and what you would call twin flames. The twin flame is a label, much like a karmic partner or a soulmate. So it's a label. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. With myself and with any readers, be discerning, guys, be protective of your energies, okay? So if this is not your reading, no worries, no hard feelings. Move on to another one of my readings, move on to another reader's readings who you resonate more with, or just make sure that you are discerning right now, because we are about to head into eclipse season. So those changeable, mutable, shifting energies have already begun, and it could easily become more and more challenging for us to feel like we're on solid ground. The good news is we have a new moon coming up next Tuesday on May 11th in a very grounding, earthy sign of Taurus. So this should make it easier for us to feel like we are actually in our physical bodies having this earthly experience, rather than being this sort of floaty energy that tends to come with all of these retrogrades that we have this month. Okay, so let's take a deep dive into the feminine's energy. And I am going to go ahead and just call in Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael is the archangel I work with the most. And I'm hearing Archangel Raphael and Archangel Metatron also to assist the divine feminines with heart healing, to assist the divine feminine with opening your heart. A lot of the masculines have closed their hearts or are dealing with closed heart chakras, and the feminines are sort of responding in kind by closing their hearts, and it's creating, like, where generally sort of the twin flames operate kind of like, it's like a DNA helix, the double helix, and they'll just intertwine. Well, they're sort of tumbling like this, right? We're sort of tumbling out of control. And so we need to create and instill more balance in these connections, because the masculine, as you'll find out when you listen to that message, is going through a tower moment. And so the feminine is feeling very much the energies, and really the feminine is helping to transmute, but the feminine's exhausted, and the feminine needs to tend to herself. So the first deck that I'm really leaning towards is actually the Sacred Destiny deck. So we're going to go ahead and look into this. Now, what I'd like to do for this feminines is I'd like to do a 5-card spread to get some messages from your guides. Okay, so I'm going to call in Archangel Michael to create that golden sphere of protection and balance around this reading. And I'm also going to call in Archangel Raphael, Archangel Metatron, and I'm going to call in the Holy Spirit. Please allow me to be a pure vessel of divine truth and clarity, compassion, empathy, and unconditional love and acceptance for all who are joining in on this reading. Thank you, and so it is. Wow. Okay. So some overarching energies for the feminine. This moon is really going to beckon us into a deeper place of relaxation, feminines. So if you have been in the masculine energy for the past several months, you'll be feeling the exhaustion, you'll be feeling just the pull to really go back into yourself. You're going to be feeling this draw with this new moon to just sort of temper the activity, temper the ferocity of the pace, the drive, the endurance, and just sort of like, oh, you know what? It's just time to enjoy the day. And I feel like the divine feminine with this Taurus new moon on the 11th is going to be savoring the moment and savoring the delicacy of her experiences. She's going to be embracing. So for you feminines who feel like you have gotten off path, for you feminines who have been triggered recently, for you feminines who are questioning with the Juno retrograde that K-Moon talks about, if you're questioning this journey and questioning your capacity to stay committed to this journey, to stay faithful, I feel like this is going to apply even more so to those feminines who are feeling sort of just this, or have felt rather, this need to run away from this journey and just say, fuck it. It's been like a fuck it all attitude. The exhaustion, the sheer, like the panic, the exhaustion, the fears of not uniting, the fears of going through all this for nothing. Is this real? Was this ever real? Am I crazy? Did I make this up in my head? Does he feel the same way? Is this reciprocated? You know, is this sort of just me creating the scenario in my head? Because when we go into physical separation, we have the memories, but your mind can sort of skew the memories over time and make you either only remember the good parts or only remember the bad parts. And it makes you sort of forget the struggles that necessitated the split or the temporary separation. When I speak of separation, I'm speaking of in terms of physical, because in the energetic and spiritual connection, you're never actually separate. Okay, so just know that. Okay. So the feminine is embracing, which is going to feel really nice. I feel like you're going to be feeling like all those physical ailments and ascension symptoms that I spoke of in the divine masculine reading. I do feel like the feminine is now going to be going, oh, you know what? I can just relax and I don't have to be so tense. And so those patterns in your body, you know, the body holds emotions, the body holds trauma. So where you were holding on to that trauma, your body's just going to sort of go, it's going to feel like a release. It's going to feel like a melting. It's going to feel like you're just letting go of that trauma, letting go of that tenseness, and anything that's made you sort of curl up into yourself for protection, especially feeling like you need to protect yourself from this journey. Because a lot of feminines have been feeling like, well, I don't know where my masculine's at. He disappeared. I don't know if union's happening. I don't know if this is even real. I'm just going to protect myself. And what that does on both sides is it creates more pain because you're resisting this unconditionally loving connection that is at the core of your own soul. So you end up in resistance to yourself ultimately. Now, we do have the New Beginnings card, which I'm happy to see. And with a new moon, we have the ability to drum up or to manifest, to bring into our reality these new beginnings. So I'm not surprised to see that coming up for the new moon energies. And this is, you know, sort of the time for the feminine to be open to possibilities. Embrace what is. And I'm really feeling with this new moon that the feminine is going to be called to embrace what is rather than looking at what isn't. Instead of saying, oh, can't or won't or never, the feminine's going to be going within and just going, you know what? Like some of you will be just doing some body care. I recommend this at this time, especially those of you suffering from a lot of the symptoms that I've been listing off in my videos. I went for a very specialized form of massage this morning to assist with my TMJ, which was so debilitating yesterday that I had a literally face pain. The muscles of my face were under like duress. And I couldn't stand light, I couldn't stand sound, I couldn't do anything, I couldn't focus. So I think it's really important that the feminine, if you have these physical ailments or imbalances, that you really tend to them over the next several days. And I feel like this weekend, like even though I'm sitting here doing these readings, I'm relaxing on my porch and I'm just enjoying the sounds of nature, and I'm enjoying the air, the fresh air. I'm enjoying the sunshine. I'm enjoying just existing without looking into the future or worrying about the past. So these are good energies, feminine. Now, let's go ahead with the 5-card spread. So, TJ, don't be rude. I'm doing a reading. Don't be rude. Come here. No, come here. Come here. Come here. Oh, sorry. Sorry, baby. He's okay. Just a little pissed off. Okay. So let's go ahead and I'm actually going to, it got really warm all of a sudden, so I am going to just sort of direct the fan over to me. It was really nice until about half an hour ago, and then it got really humid. Okay, so interesting. Okay, so let's go ahead and card number 1. A lot of potential with this new moon. Wow. Yeah, they're talking about the 555 gateway. Okay. So let me make sure that you guys can see all of these cards. We have potential, happiness, success, community, and gateway. Powerful. Let me move this back. There we go. Okay. So the first card here, potential. This is a message from your higher self. It's speaking of the potential that exists within you. The potential. This is a volcano that could erupt at any time. So there is that fiery, passionate energy that is coming through, and that comes through with the possibilities of new beginnings for the feminine. Now, I feel like a lot of people are or have been doubting their own potential. Sort of, if you guys have ever heard of imposter syndrome, which honestly, if you are out there in the world and you're on stage in some way and you have a community, you have a following, and you don't feel imposter syndrome at some point in time, I question that, because imposter syndrome it's sort of like the soul trying to understand the ego, or trying to come into balance with the ego, or the ego's like, yeah, I can do everything, I'm awesome, I'm badass, and then the soul's like, actually that's backwards, sorry. The soul is like, I can do everything. I'm creative, I'm inspiring, I'm amazing, I'm a divine feminine, I'm divine masculine, I'm a twin flame, I'm a light worker, I'm a star seed, I'm a guide. And the ego's like, yeah, but I mean, who are you? Who are you to be great? Who are you to be successful? Who are you to be happy? And who are you to have love? Like, who are you? And so when you experience that, it can be crushing, because you think, I've gone so far, I've healed so much, why do I still feel like an imposter? And then you question your ability, you question your talents, you question your gifts. And we can actually temporarily sort of dismantle our gifts in that process where the ego takes over. And the ego doesn't want you to succeed. The ego wants you to stay put and stay small. When we heal, the ego dies in a sense. And that's the ego's greatest fear, is death or not being important anymore, not being heard, not being catered to, okay? So feminine, your higher self wants you to ignite your potential, wants you to step into your potential. The second card, the happiness card, with our beautiful, loving, very, very emotionally intelligent and playful spiritual beings, the dolphins. So this is a message from the heavens. This is what the angels and the archangels in heaven want you to know, is that happiness is your birthright. And, you know, you don't have to be sad. You don't have to be angry. You don't have to feel guilt and shame. There are ways to work through this. And while it's not always as easy as I'm just going to manifest happiness, or I'm just going to manifest getting out of this trauma, we have tools that we can use to work through this. We have massage therapy. We have Reiki energy healing. We have shamans we can work with. We have counselors and psychiatrists, right? We have the esoteric, the spiritual, and we have the more grounded, Western-based modalities based in science. And we can use the best of both worlds. Lots and lots. That's just a few. There are thousands of ways to heal. But it's important that the feminine take responsibility for her healing and for her happiness, regardless of whether the masculine is showing up physically in your life or not. And the third card that we have is the community card. So this is a message from Mother Gaia, message from the Divine Mother. And this is also a message from, look at this, so beautiful, because it's representing the realm of animals and, the stone people, if you will, the stone allies, plants. And here we are, we have this forest scene with butterflies, with transformation, with the rainbow. This is about your community. So your community, it's the nature and the animals and the plants, and they're saying, we're with you and we're walking alongside you on your journey, and we want to help take you to the next level and the next chapter, and we want to help you make those decisions that seem really tough in the physical, and we want you to know that you're worthy and that you're not alone. It's like, I keep on seeing the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, because it looks like gold and it looks like the rainbow, and they just want you to know, they're desperate to tell you that you don't have to do this alone. It doesn't have to be so lonely and so scary, and so you don't have to shut yourself off or down from magic, from others, from community. That can be, community obviously can be in the form of people. It can be in the form of your coworkers. It can be in the form of family, pets, nature, animals. It can be in the form of online communities. So many different ways that we can relate to groups. Okay, so the fourth card we have is Gateway. We have a message from your ancestors. We have the magical unicorn. I think I said uniform. Unicorn, representing magic and limitless possibilities in far off distant lands and just your imagination. So there's a gateway and a portal that opened on 555. Very highly charged portal that for many felt very physically uncomfortable. But it's a gateway to magic in the unseen worlds, okay? And your ancestors want you to know that this veil is very thin. The veil between the seen and the unseen right now is very thin at this time, and that it's highly accessible to assist you on your journey. So I feel like, this gateway energy wants you to know that just because you can't see something doesn't mean it's not there. This is a message, feminine. Just because you can't see the shift or the change in your masculine doesn't mean it's not happening, doesn't mean it's not there. Just because they're not reaching out, just because they didn't respond to your message, just because they haven't yet left the karmic partner, just because they canceled on the last minute, does not mean that they don't care, and it does not mean that they aren't changing internally, because they are. They're going through tremendous internal change. Now, I feel like this is the inner shaman that is coming out for you guys. When the veil is thin, Fairies and elves are supporting you. So you've got the support of the natural world, and you've got the support of the fairies, the elves, the stone people, animals, nature. You've got the support and community all around you. So you have really, like the magician, all the tools in your tool belt to succeed and to move forward into the next place, the next chapter in your journey. And lastly, we have a message from your higher self. Your higher self wants you, your future self. So your higher self wanted to talk to you about your potential. And your future self says, yeah, it's more than potential. It's already happened. In the future, you've already succeeded in whatever it is that you've set out to do. So that's really cool that we've got both of those cards representing higher self and future self. Success is yours. And walking through this gateway and utilizing the benefits of this open gateway right now are what's going to really push you forward. There's a little bit of a push I feel the divine feminine needs at this time, because there's been a lot of stagnant energy. So the feminine requires a little bit of a push here from the divine to move forward onto the next leg of her journey, okay? So you may want to push yourself now, and where you may feel like, you know what, I don't feel like I've pushed myself enough. It's time for me to relax. Sarah, you said to embrace and relax and be present. Yes, I said all of those things. But also, post the new moon, on the heels of the new moon, you're going to want to start to take some action steps. And I feel this. I feel like it's going to feel more comfortable and more natural after that time. So let us see. We're going to look into the magical dimensions deck here. All right, guys, so let us take a look. Give me 1 second. I'm just checking on the video just to make sure, and it looks like it finally kicked off, so that makes me happy. Yay! Okay, so, okay. You like how I'm multitasking? Okay. Sending much love to all of you guys. So much love. This just flipped. It flipped over, not out, but okay. Yeah, solar plexus. Center and seat of your personal sun and your personal power. When this is in alignment, we feel balanced, we feel confident, we feel brave, courageous, and we feel like we can accomplish or achieve anything. This is your key to success, really. Solar plexus governs our success in the physical world. This is when you are in your personal power. When this is out of balance, you don't have healthy boundaries. So feminines, check yourself. Be really honest with yourself. Are you instilling healthy boundaries? Are there still toxic people you're allowing into your life? Whether they be family, friends, coworkers, etc. Is it a toxic job? Some feminines have toxic or karmic jobs. Okay, I'm working with a beautiful divine feminine. She's been a client of mine for a while now. And that we figured out that was her karmic, was the job. Not a person, but the job. And so we just want to be mindful of this. I think a lot of feminines can relate. Yeah, I can relate to having a karmic job in the past. Yes, absolutely. Freeing yourself from that will open up the doors to abundance. Whether or not, because it's not about the money. It's not about, the money will come when you release yourself from that toxicity. The money will come, and the money will be even more enjoyable, even more effortless. All right. Wow. You've got happiness, potential, new beginnings, success, and destiny, divine purpose, passion, service. This new moon is going to catapult you, feminine, into this gateway, leads to your mission. Maybe the next step or next level of your mission. Some of you are leveling up, but it's leading you into mission work, service, and it's a passionate act, right? It's like we go into mission, there's passion behind it. There are days where I can barely get out of bed on this journey, and I am compelled to do a reading because there's something that needs to be shared with the collective, and it has to come out. So it becomes this responsibility from a divine perspective. Like, this is my responsibility to deliver this message. Okay. Spirit, tell me. Okay. What I was asking that I didn't get out with my words, but I was asking in my head, I wanted to know what obstacles might arise for the feminine with this new moon. And we've got root portal, root chakra. So you may, feminines, I feel like until next month, it may feel a little rocky on the stability front. So this is in terms of your money, in terms of your security, your stability, your ability to take care of yourself, to provide for yourself, to financially take care of your needs, your bills, just like basic 3D stuff. So it can be a little challenging. There can be some fear in, like, if I let go of this job, or how am I going to pay my bills, or how am I going to survive? So this could be old stuff coming back up, resurfacing, that is going to get cleared out with this upcoming eclipse on May 26th in the sign of Sagittarius. Now, we also have Utopia. So it's like there's so much positive energy, not just for your reading, but for the masculine reading. There's so much positive energy coming through with this new moon that, can you contain it, divine feminine? Can you believe it? Can you believe that this could all be yours? Can you believe in this paradise on earth? This is bigger than the romantic connection to someone. This is about creating the utopia. And many of us came from utopian planets or worlds or environments. And this life on earth, the harshness, the bleakness that we felt over the past several years, right? Superficially on the surface in the matrix. It's made us question, well, is change really going to happen? I mean, seems like we've shifted into the lower timeline, Sarah. This is all divinely orchestrated and guided. More people are going to wake up by us going to this lower timeline, watching things play out, because the dark side can no longer contain who they are. They're just saying things and acting in ways that are so absolutely ridiculous and overtly demonic, overtly dark, that there's no way that we can deny. Like, people are starting to wake up. I run into people every day, and we have these amazing conversations about our freedom, about our rights, about what is actually happening and how to free yourself from the matrix. Step away from the news, step away from your TV. Your TV is killing you in more ways than one, not just physically. Your TV is literally, like, it's not just the news, guys. It's TV shows, it's movies. Look deeply. When you truly wake up, you will see everything from a new perspective. George Orwell's 1984. It's real. We're living it. The news, the movies, TV, look at what your children have available to watch. Look at it's insane. And you think sometimes, you look at these movies now, horror movies, and you go, wait, this is actually happening. They predicted this. They knew this. This was planned. So this downfall, this quote unquote downfall that we're seeing of society and humanity, it has to happen this way. I speak more in depth on this over on Patreon, but getting back to the cards, inspirational creation. Feminine, you have the ability now, we've seen it here, to tap into your magic, to tap into your feminine gifts. It's a matter of you trusting. It's a matter of you balancing out solar plexus, root chakra, and a matter of you taking back your power, calling back your soul fragments, stepping out of the energy. Fear is debilitating. It will cripple your body. It will make you literally turn into yourself. It's crippling. So know this, feminine, and know and understand that there's a way out of this. Community is very important right now for feminines. I'm going to need to take a break. My throat is dry and I'm hangry. Not hangry yet, but I will. I'm hungry. So I'm going to just pull a card or two here from the Beyond Lemuria deck for the feminines. Okay, well, those literally popped into my lap effortlessly. So let's take the effortlessness. Like, that's what the feminine is stepping into, is effortlessness right now. No resisting, no pushing, no forcing. Just let things be effortless. Transformation and ether, the seamless, unspeakable, what we can't quite see. Remember, just because we can't see it does not mean it's not happening. Transformation, deep, long-lasting transformation is taking place inside of you right now and all around the globe, all around the world. People are shifting internally in ways they never thought possible, in ways they had never. People are questioning their belief systems, their religion, their culture. They're questioning laws, they're questioning rules, they're questioning everything that's happening. And it's waking society up. And your job is to continue turning inward to yourself. There's a book called the Selfward Facing Journey or something like that. I can't think of it, but it's all about turning into yourself instead of looking. And the more people, honestly, if we all turned into ourselves on a daily basis, or even a couple times a week, hell, even a couple times a year, think about that. Everyone did that. If that was mandatory, think about if that was mandated. Think about how different things could be if people, because then people would realize they're sovereign. They would realize who they are. You're really waking up to who you are, feminine, and this can feel scary. You know, transformation feels scary. It feels, you and the masculine are both going through this. So you're both in the chaser energy at this current time, this time frame where you're both sort of chasing after what you feel like you don't yet have, what feels unattainable. And the thing about the ethers is it's an air element. Anything can happen. Things can change so quickly. Anything can happen. Anything is possible. Okay. Let's just look at the book for a minute. Zero-point fields, the void, blank canvas, threshold. It literally says anything is possible. I kid you not. Anything is possible. I just said that. Anything is possible. Endless possibilities. Limitless. What may be perceived as the endless black nothingness is actually the illuminated eternal. The core that all our fears may be peeled back to. When we step through the darkness, we realize it is only a short distance away from the white void at the center of creation and heaven. Herein lies the feeling that we may have been striving our entire life to meet and yet simultaneously, subconsciously running from. Yes, it's the running from that perfection, feminine. Yes, this is put into words so eloquently. It's the running from yourself. It's the running from divinity. It's the running from all of this beauty, happiness, and potential and success. It's running from the new beginning. We don't realize how we turn away from happiness. We don't realize how we turn towards misery or pain because it's what we know. This is so profound. In this place of graceful surrender, we may know we are held and allow ourselves the spaciousness to drop deeper into the experience of our existence. I think my job here is done, Divine Feminine. So I hope you found this reading inspiring and illuminating. If so, please do drop a like and share, subscribe, become a Patreon member, and you can support me in that way from as little as $5 a month. I have different tiers that offer different readings and different things. And thank you so much for being here and for being you. I'll see you soon and take great care. Please enjoy your day and please take good care of yourself.